if you create sort of broad content, you're not like, hi, Instagram, right? You're just creating broad content that's valuable. You can repurpose that across every platform. Post it on Instagram Reels, post it on Facebook Reels, post it on YouTube Shorts. I go in waves with Pinterest. Right now, Pinterest is getting a lot of views for me. So I'm back on recommending the Pinterest bandwagon.
Welcome to the Headsmack Podcast, where we have candid conversations with misfits and mavericks. Those not afraid to stand up and stand out. The dreamers and the doers, the ones who've stumbled, fumbled, and then soared. Here we delve into the inspiring journeys and pivotal aha moments that have shaped their worlds. And maybe through sharing their adventures, you'll get hit with a head smack that'll change your destiny. Hey, welcome to the Headsmack Podcast. My name is Povolni, and I am here with Austin Armstrong, another misfit, and we're going to be having a great conversation today. Austin is a lifelong digital marketer, public speaker, 2-time seven-figure entrepreneur, host of the podcast Business Talk, and the CEO of Syllabi, an AI startup that helps content creators create, schedule, and publish videos in minutes. Austin has posted over 4,000 videos on TikTok, tripling his own business revenue and thousands more across his clients' accounts. Austin has leveraged his success on TikTok to gain millions of followers across every social media platform. He loves sharing the strategies that have worked for him to empower you. How you doing, Austin, man?
Paul, I'm doing great, man. I'm just realizing as you're reading that I'm probably going to have to change that bio after they ban TikTok. Let's hook it up, though.
And I do want to talk about that and get your thoughts on that, if that changes everything or nothing for you. I appreciate you doing this, man. You know, I first got introduced to you, I think, on TikTok. I was doing some brainless scrolling and you kept popping up, and I saved some of your videos and I said, I got to watch this later. Got to watch this later. Got to watch this later. Got to do this later. Got to implement this later. And I probably have dozens of your videos saved somewhere on some to-do list so I can go back and watch it. And so I love what you're doing, man. It's pretty awesome stuff. But I do want to kind of hear your origin story, a little bit about how you became Mr. TikTok and how you launched Syllabi. And so you can go as far back as you want to go, but share a little bit about your origin story. Where did it all start, and what got you into this?
Yeah, I'll try and make this as brief and concise as possible because it's a little bit of a long journey. I was fortunate to find what I think my calling was in life pretty early on. So I got started on MySpace when I was 14 years old. We're going to zoom out 20 years ago on social media, really at its origin days. And I was hooked from the moment I joined that platform. And I don't just mean like hooked on being on social media. I was growing large followings. I had hundreds of thousands of followers on MySpace, and I was monetizing that in various different ways, doing email lead gen, promoting bands and t-shirt companies. I had a really brilliant friend who's a web developer, and we're both like 14, 15, 16 years old. We built early SaaS platforms to help other people grow their followings on MySpace as well. And that was so impactful in my growth that really stuck with me because I was impacted by that at such an early age. Now, fast forward to about 11 years ago is where my professional journey really began in video marketing on social media. I had moved out to California from New Jersey, grew up in New Jersey, and I stumbled into an internship at a video marketing agency that specialized in the behavioral health space. And I loved it. I saw the long-term vision, even though I started as an unpaid intern. I was not paid to be there. I was just paid to learn, foot in the door. But I saw the vision. I loved it, and I stuck with it. And so I worked my way up from being an unpaid intern to a paid intern, to a part-time employee, to a full-time employee. Fortunately, the owner of that company really saw the passion and potential in me, and he became my mentor. He really invested in my growth, paid for me to do sales training and travel all around the country to different marketing conferences. I'm a very extroverted person, so I'll walk up to anybody and talk to them immediately. That's definitely a superpower that I have. And we eventually actually became business partners. So fast forward to now 6.5-ish years ago, I started my first company, which is called Socialty Pro, which was a social media marketing agency. We specialized in video marketing, but we also did a lot of SEO. And that was very much a part-time thing at the time. I was head of digital marketing at a drug and alcohol treatment center because I had just come from that path and gotten very good at marketing in that industry. And what happened was leading up to TikTok, in 2020, so I think it was like June or July of 2020, the pandemic was around for like 3 months or something like that. I got fired from my job, no real notice. And so I was faced with the entrepreneurial decision of like, do I bet on myself and go all in and see what I'm made of? Like, see if I can make this a full-time income. Talk to my business partner, talk to my wife, decided to go all in. Strangely enough, decided to go all in on TikTok.
Wow.
For whatever reason, jumped in, attended some webinars to learn. It just clicked. It worked. And so I started growing on TikTok, talking about SEO. I became the SEO guy on TikTok, got a ton of clients and consulting gigs that way. Eventually, the grew far enough that I had enough followers on TikTok that people started asking, "Can you help me and my company grow on TikTok?" Uh, yes, I will take your money and help you grow. Of course, said the entrepreneur. And so I started to grow, and I kept getting banned on TikTok, which forced me to figure out all of these other social media platforms.
Banned for
After the
what?
first, they would ban. So I share my content like these 5 websites feel illegal to know and useful websites and whatnot. And I think that they just don't like that type of content that sends people off of their platform. They want to keep you on the platform.
Which most social platforms are kind of like that.
Yeah, yeah. And then just how I play that I dance on that line of being a little provocative in order to increase engagement. But I think like that opening line feels illegal to know when you say it over and over again, sort of flags their algorithm. Long story short, it forced me to not put all my eggs in one basket and figure out all of these other platforms. Figured out YouTube Shorts, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, LinkedIn. I have millions of followers now.
Now, did you originate that language, or did you see somebody else use that language? 'Cause I've seen other content creators use that same language.
I've been using it for so long. I'm really not even sure anymore. I think I came up with it. I think it was a tweak on something that somebody else said. So I'm constantly studying other people's videos. And so I don't want, because I'm not even sure anymore.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think I took an opening line that was very similar, and I took that and tweaked it.
yeah,
And I definitely was the first person to do the like side by side talking to myself videos, like reacting.
yeah.
That I definitely originated with these useful websites, but I'm not 100% sure about that opening hook.
Now, before we go into talking about, the TikTok and diversifying, what happened in the interim between MySpace and your internship? Like what happened
Yeah.
in that space?
Such a great question, because I've reflected on this a lot. If I could go back in time and tell myself one thing, it would be to stay more consistent. I didn't know that social media would be a career path at the time. I don't think anyone did,
Yeah.
which is, very few people. So after
Yeah, because
MySpace,
those are places to share food, cats, dogs, vacations. Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, after MySpace died, like I was still active on other social media platforms. Like I had created like weird theme niche pages on Facebook that didn't really grow that much. I was very early on YouTube, but I wasn't really consistent with it. And in your late teens, your early 20s, you don't know what the hell you're gonna do it in life anyway.
Right, right.
And so there was a little bit of inactiveness in growth and pursuing that. So like I did bartending, I was a server at a yacht club for years, all kinds of like weird random jobs that are meaningless now.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And so okay, so let's go back to you were talking about diversifying stuff. Where were you getting your learning from? Was it just from trial and error? Was it from other people's videos? Was it from some other source? Where were you learning your stuff from?
Yeah, a lot of listening to podcasts, a lot of going to conferences. I love going to conferences, hiring coaches and consultants. One key moment that I always love to bring up is when I cracked the code on YouTube Shorts. It was really just because of a great YouTube coach and friend, Jeremy Vest. We decided to get together and we're like, we're going to figure out YouTube Shorts. We're going to crack this code. And every single day we would jump on a Zoom call and study, and we would test theories. We would review each other's videos objectively and just give constructive feedback and criticism. We'd study videos like, how long is the opening hook? How long is something on frame before it changes? What do the titles look like? Are the videos looping back to the beginning, or are they just ending abruptly? Is there a single call to action? And going through that exercise every single day with Jeremy, I think we did it for almost a month. I had that like little epiphany, aha moment of, why am I just sharing everything? A head smack moment. Definitely a head smack moment. Definitely a head smack moment of, why am I sharing all of my videos? Let me just share the most viral videos, which were these 5 websites feel illegal to know series. And so I only was uploading those, and that's when YouTube exploded.
Who were you finding that was doing it right, that was kind of a big influence when you were doing the studying and the analyzing of these videos? Or were you just testing your own?
We were just testing our own. We were studying all kinds of channels, completely unrelated to anything. So Jeremy was the head of Grail Skateboard on YouTube, for instance. They have about 5 million subscribers. And so we were looking at their videos, which is completely unrelated to what I do, but it was just broad titles, very short videos that are visually driven. You don't have to speak the language in order to understand what's going on in the video. I mean, there was other similar creators, like, to me, like Maddie McTech, who is still a pretty big creator online. All kinds, just everything that we could think about. Videos that had millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of views on shorts. We were hyper focused on shorts, and so we were just looking at the best performing things and just meticulously looking at everything.
So when did you feel that maybe this social media thing can actually have a future? Like when was that aha moment for you, that head smack moment that you said, you know what? Because you had mentioned, earlier, it's like, hey, how are you making money on social media? It's cats, dogs, lunch, breakfast, When was that moment for you that you're like, wow, I think there's a future in this?
Well, I would say 2 different times. So it really was originally on MySpace. I was making so much money back then. I remember, looking at PayPal, which I don't even know how we had PayPal because we were under 18, but just getting paid, like, I would do an email lead gen thing that was totally sketchy, borderline illegal, just like bait and switch. But I'd be like, I just got paid $500 today for a post. Like, this is crazy. I can afford an apartment with this.
Wow. Yeah.
But I don't know why I didn't stick with it, which is like, everything happens for a reason, I guess. And then the other moment is definitely when I really started growing on TikTok early on. I would say close to 5 years ago, 4.5, 5 years ago. Now, when I really focused in and committed on TikTok of why I wanted to be on that platform and what content that I was going to create, and giving myself an ultimatum, and it working, and immediately starting to get leads when I was dialed in, I saw the future there, and I said, okay, I'm going all in on this thing.
So when that started happening and you started getting leads, what were they leads towards? Like, what were you selling? What were you doing? What were those leads being pushed to?
My marketing agency, so the Socialty Pro. So because I was having a lot of success with SEO oriented videos on TikTok, I was starting to get SEO leads. I had worked with other agencies at that point, so there were a couple agencies that contacted me to help with their clients because they were doing other things online. All kinds of different clients. Gold company that buys and sells gold. Acupuncture, definitely behavioral health oriented companies, because I always showed examples of like addiction treatment centers that I was doing SEO for. So other treatment centers would contact. Lots of just contracts in that space, and I try and like slowly move them over to video too. Which, because I've always been good with SEO, but I never saw myself as an SEO. That's just the content that kind of worked online, and I kind of became that person. Like I really see myself more as a video marketer than an SEO, even though I went down that space for a long time.
So now that you've gone all in on TikTok, what do you think about the TikTok ban? That seems to be, talked about and everybody's kind of concerned about. How are you feeling about that?
Well, I learned long ago to not have all your eggs in one basket. So I've been diversifying for 4 or 5 years now. So it's not really going to impact me, but I think it sucks. I think banning TikTok is going to hurt the US economy more than their concerns of it being a Trojan horse for China.
Yeah.
Uh, so many businesses in America rely on TikTok for marketing, distribution, direct sales through TikTok Shop now, opportunities for musicians and artists and creatives to develop income streams around their passions that was never really available, even on platforms like Instagram. The uniqueness of the culture of TikTok is become ingrained in US now. Um, it's how trends start. It's just such an impactful platform, and it really is a shame that the politicians don't see that value, and they are so concerned about China spying on us that I just think it's a complete misstep. I think it is going to be banned now. For the longest time, I didn't think it was going to be banned. I thought they were going to continue to prolong it indefinitely. But here we are 4 days away, and there's no news from the Supreme Court. It looks like it is going to be banned. And even if the appeal process, like if Trump tries to bring it back, that's going to be a long journey than to just avoid the ban. There's Mr. Wonderful has put in a bid for $20 billion with
Wow.
some of his buddies. I heard to purchase TikTok without the algorithm, because that's kind of been the stalemate thing, is ByteDance does not want to get rid of they don't want to sell their algorithm. But Mr. Wonderful, I saw a video on, is we want the TikTok everything. They're going to rebuild the algorithm, which I don't think is going to work. I don't think they're going to get, but yeah, I unfortunately think it's likely to happen right now, and it sucks.
Yeah. Well, and you've mentioned so many good reasons for its existence, and also just as a news source. For a while there, I know now Meta is also changing its tune a little bit on how it filters content, but TikTok used to be the place that if you wanted to find the truth about what's happening right now, it was the only source for that, because at that point, Twitter was Twitter, and so, it is, even for that, I think it's kind of a shame for it to go away. And there really isn't anybody that's as primed to take over the space as they will, because they really nailed down what they were doing with the sales and the e-com on there and everything else. And so, yeah, it is going to leave quite a significant void for a while there until somebody is able to at least get 50% of the way there.
Yeah, I think probably the closest competitor is Instagram, but I think it's just like people have such a sour taste in their mouth about Zuckerberg and just Meta platforms in general. It's funny now, everybody's been. I don't know if you've heard of Red Note yet or seen that.
Which is
This is
another
so
OZC.
funny.
Yeah.
It's so fun. It's like an act of rebellion. So all of these, there's a little subculture over there already of TikTok refugees, people that are flooding from TikTok over to Red Note
Yeah.
as a FU to the government, which is so ironic because they're going from a platform, TikTok, that is the parent company. ByteDance is a Chinese company, but the CEO is from Taiwan, I believe. TikTok is entirely operated out of the United States. And then now and the whole reason for this ban is because of China, right? And so now everybody's going to a completely operated in Chinese app. The app itself, I have it on my phone because I have to experiment. The whole app's in Chinese. You
Oh my
can't look at the
goodness.
terms of service because it's in Mandarin. You can't go through your settings because it's in Mandarin. I don't speak Mandarin, but a lot of the settings are entirely in Mandarin. You can't even read anything. And so it's just this really strange stick it to the man rebellion thing that's happening right now. Uh,
Yeah.
that's a little strange. I think people will, if TikTok ban goes through, people will, I think, just naturally go to the other platforms like Snapchat, Instagram, YouTube, back to Facebook.
Snapchat. Now, there's a name I haven't heard in a while. What do you think of Snapchat? It seems to have been a kind of the thing, and then
Yeah.
a kind of nobody talks about it anymore.
Well, it's a younger demographic on the platform. I was at a Duke basketball game last night, and I just happened to notice a younger kid in front of me on Snapchat, and my just brain went to, oh, he's on Snapchat. He was just like hitting with his friends. Yeah, Snapchat, really came around when I was just out of high school, I think. It's been around a while now. I think early 20s. I mean, maybe I'm misremembering how long it's been around, but yeah, it's still very active. It's just a younger demographic on there. Snapchat's like the one platform I never cracked the code on. And it's largely because of like the type of content that I create. So like Snapchat Spotlight, which is their organic discovery engine, does not like content that sends you off platform. So you're talking about earlier.
Yeah.
And so that every single video that I'd upload, they're like, not eligible, not eligible, not eligible.
Yeah. So with
Yeah,
with the
it's
amount of people that you have following you now, how are you pivoting? If this ban happens, how are you pivoting to retain that audience, and where are you pivoting them to?
well, to be completely honest, TikTok hasn't been my main platform in like 2 years because they banned me when I was about 900,000 followers on there, and I couldn't get it back. I'd actually gotten it restored 4 times. Fifth time was the charm. They wiped it from the database, everything. I have 200,000 followers on there now, but it just has been a little flat. So Facebook, believe it or not, is my primary platform, followed by Instagram, followed by YouTube. And so this is just another day in the office. TikTok
Yeah.
has just kind of been this afterthought for me for 2 years, which is unfortunate because I have such a really cool origin story with TikTok. I have so much to thank TikTok for. I have a very love-hate relationship with that platform, but I'll lose 200,000 followers. That still means I have 2.5 million followers. I'll be okay.
Yeah. Now, how are you generating income from posting on these networks? You're still doing shorts, right? So
Yep.
how does posting shorts for the person that is like, well, yeah, I kind of scroll through this, but how are these people making money doing this stuff?
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways to make money. So, people immediately go to ad revenue and bonus programs. Let that just be the icing on the cake. Don't let that be the primary source of revenue. Otherwise, you're going to be sorely disappointed because it fluctuates like crazy. It's not as good as you think it is until you're getting a ridiculous amount of views. They pay me far less than they probably should, but it's just free money. Particularly on Instagram, ManyChat automations are a fantastic way to drive leads and sales. And so quickly how that works is ManyChat is a automation platform that's Meta approved that you can connect your Instagram and Facebook page to. And so you can say in the video and have in your description, like comment the word boom, and I'll DM you a link for whatever you're talking about. I'm sure people have seen that type of thing. Leave a comment word. What that does with ManyChat's automation trigger is every time that somebody leaves that comment, it will automatically respond to them with a comment response like, check your DMs, just sent you the link. And it does. It sends them a link to their direct messages. It's like email marketing on Instagram DMs, and it works phenomenal. It's like 80% open rates and like 60+% click-through rates. And when you have a lot of followers and you have an engaged audience and you work in those call to actions, every single time that you do something like that, you'll get hundreds, if not thousands of clicks to your offer. And then there's, of course, a percentage of people that sign up, don't sign up, whatever. Aside from that, showing the URL. So and links in your bio is also another great way to drive sales. Just DMs in general, like people will DM me and we'll have conversations, and that's where a lot of conversions come from, in the DMs. Facebook in particular, I have had a lot of success with text-based posts and text threads
Oh,
recently. So things like, almost a little clickbaity, but like, rest in peace, marketing agencies. This one AI tool will make you a beast online. And then you'll put like a little arrow. And then the format is kind of like 4 or 5 steps as
yeah.
individual comments that are text based. And you leave a link there, because if you just post a link in the actual post on Facebook, it stifles the growth like crazy. Like 100, you'll get 100 times less, but not if it's in the comments. And so
Yeah.
that's kind of the game that we play with Meta, but that works tremendous.
Yeah.
That works incredibly well for driving traffic to anything. And then you just have to diversify how you're creating revenue. Affiliate marketing, direct leads and sales to your own products and services. I am starting a AI Marketing World conference right now, so I'm driving sales to my conference, which is next October in Dallas, Texas, ebooks, brand deals with other companies that just want brand exposure. There's a million different ways that you can monetize attention online.
Right.
You just have to slowly build these sources.
Right. I love that because, it's not just about posting content, it's leading them to some sort of an offer. And like you said, whether an affiliate, a co-sponsorship, and there's so many ways. And I do advise those that have just listened to this to go back and write down every one of those ideas because, it's not just about, I'm posting stuff, but it's also, what does it lead to? What is it? You've got to have something that you offer or provide that you can lead them to, right? Because that makes all the difference. It's not just about posting content and getting attention. It's kind of like yelling in a stadium, "Hey, look at me." And then everybody looks at you and you're like, um, you know, I don't have anything to say, now they've got your attention. And so, and I think a lot of people do that with their marketing is they fail in that. They yell, in a stadium, "Look at me." And everybody looks at them and then they're like, "Oh, I don't really have anything else to say apart from that, And so, so
100%.
you've learned how to do that. And so what have you found is like your best thing? You mentioned about the, the word post and then an arrow down. I've seen a lot of that. And I think I first saw it on Twitter X where people were posting some sort of a post and then having a thread of, in the comments of additional content. What else are you finding that is really working right now, aside from those text posts with an arrow for more content?
Well, short form content still works like a charm. If you create sort of broad content, you're not like, "Hi, Instagram," right? You're just creating broad content that's valuable. You can repurpose that across every platform. Post it on Instagram Reels, post it on Facebook Reels, post it on YouTube Shorts. I go in waves with Pinterest right now. Pinterest is getting a lot of views for me. So I'm back on
Wow.
recommending the Pinterest bandwagon. Nobody talks about Pinterest.
Wait a second.
Um,
Isn't Pinterest just for stay-at-home moms to learn how to knit stuff? Come on now. Pinterest, really?
that's
I'm being
stigma.
sarcastic, of course.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Pinterest is like a visual search engine. So it's like if Google and Instagram had a baby, is how I
Yeah.
like to describe Pinterest. It's a search engine. People search for things online. It's not, it is largely a woman demographic, 65%. But I mean, I reach 500,000 plus people a month, and I haven't even posted on there in 6 months. My content just ranks, and it's useful websites and and it just drives clicks. Every video that you or post that you put on Pinterest, you can optimize a headline for a search. It's clickable to a landing page or an offer. You can do affiliate marketing through Pinterest really well. You can drive traffic to your website or any landing page you want through Pinterest really well. Fantastic platform to emphasize. And it's one of those amazing platforms that it's like SEO. Once you put in the work, it just kind of lives forever for you. That's they have one of the longest shelf lives of their content than any other platform out there. Like a video on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube might die in a couple weeks or a month or so. Pinterest, they can live for years. So I love Pinterest, but post that video everywhere. Post it on X, post it on Threads, post that video everywhere. And then other types of content like carousel posts still perform really well. Sort of the image version of those text threads will do something like that. Like here's, a catchy headline with perceived value, swipe through, value point 1, value point 2, value point 3. Yeah, those are kind of the collaborations work really well too to grow in general. But those are kind of the formats that I'm primarily doing right now that are working well.
Wow. Now, you had mentioned to me in another thread of conversation about the impact Rachel Peterson made on you. Now, I just had her on
Oh yeah.
the podcast. Tell me a little bit about that. What happened there?
Yeah. Yeah. So going back to my early TikTok growth, I had said like I attended a webinar. It was Rachel Peterson's website or webinar. I've had the great fortune of interviewing her on my podcast, she was a dream guest. I have so much to thank that amazing woman for.
Yeah, yeah.
So on TikTok, when I first got started, I was on it for maybe 3 months or so, and I was just a flailing, flopping fish with no growth. I was posting stuff all over the place. I had no strategy. I was posting like a cat video and then like a website video, and I was trying to do a trend and just figure out the platform. And it just got nowhere. And I saw a Facebook ad for her. She was hosting a free webinar on how to use TikTok to grow your business. This was so early. This was so early in that space. Nobody was using TikTok for their business. And so I'm like, let me attend this thing. She delivered so much value for free in that webinar. And I gave myself an ultimatum. I said, I'm only going to give myself 30 days on TikTok. I'm only going to create business-oriented content. I'm going to hyper focus. And if it doesn't work in those 30 days, I don't see any traction or growth or anything, that maybe this is not the platform for me. And that was the focus needed to start this whole crazy journey of short form video growth. I mean, it was in those 30 days that I was doing videos on SEO that started to grow, and I immediately started to get clients. And it just has snowballed over the last 4.5, 5 years now. And I've shouted Rachel from the rooftops over and over and over again. She's such a pivotal point of my online success. Rachel's amazing.
Yeah. I had her on not too long ago, and she's just an amazing guest and just so full of wisdom and so full of experience and so full of value, and just amazing thing. So when did Syllabi, and I want to talk about Syllabi, how was that birthed and how did that come about?
Yeah. So at a high level, Syllabi is a tool that lets you create, schedule, publish, and automate videos to social media. And it really came from my 11 years of video marketing experience. There were a lot of problems that business owners were facing over and over again. There were a reason why they wanted to contract us and sometimes couldn't contract us. They know they need to be active on social media, creating video, but they don't know what topics to create. They don't know what to say on camera. Maybe they don't like being on camera. They need help staying consistent and accountable. But maybe they also don't have the time to actually do this, or they don't have the budget to hire a marketing agency. And so they're stuck in this loop of not knowing how and not having the time and not having the funds to be active on social media while they're trying to grow their business to get ahead. And it's this endless cycle. And so there were also a lot of repeatable processes that we were implementing to help our clients grow. At the agency, we've done billions of organic views across social media on videos over the years. And I took all of those concepts and I took all of those pain points and I started to come up with the idea for a platform that automated a lot of this. The original idea was actually just a content strategy tool, which became the execution and implementation of that. But the original idea was just, here's how to do competitor research, here's how to do topic research, structure it into a 30-day plan for videos that you can follow. And we had an early content calendar on there. And this was, in fact, I just posted a thing on Facebook today, which was interesting. I had the idea about 3 years ago, which was pre-AI boom, pre-ChatGPT, pre-OpenAI's API. This was pre-AI startup. This was
Still blows me away that it's been that short. It just, it feels like, so it's been forever, but yeah, it hasn't been that long. So, okay, sorry to interrupt, but yeah, when you mentioned 3 years, I'm
so you're so right. And so I attended this mastermind and I was workshopping this idea that was in my head of taking idea to idea. And then I started to take action on it. I self-funded with my business partner, self-invested from the agency to start to build what is now Syllabi. And I'm a non-technical founder. I'm just a marketer. I'm the idea guy, the visionary, whatever. And so I had found a development team overseas to work on this thing. Spent about $15,000 all in. It took them 6 months to build this like prototype that was real janky. But it was a visual point that I think was necessary because I brought it to my now CTO, who's a good friend of mine. I've known him for a long time. Brilliant engineer, software developer, has been in the AI, ML, machine learning space for 8 years now. He also ran a marketing agency, so he can speak my language and software experience. And I pitched him this idea and I said, here's where it's at. I'd love to bring you on as CTO and go all in on this startup. And he said yes. And what took that team 6 months to build, he rebuilt it better in a 48-hour just hackathon by himself. And then we spent a couple months refining it to getting it to MVP. And then we launched January 25th of 2023. So we're not to date this podcast. I don't know what time or what day this is coming out, but
It'll come out Monday. Yeah.
okay, perfect. So on the January 25th, Syllabi will be 2 years since it's been live, and it's been phenomenal. So that's kind of the origin story.
Wow. Wow. Now you in the bio it said that you were 2 times 7-figure entrepreneur. Was that via Syllabi? Was that through previous? Okay. Wow.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
that's the agency and Syllabi. So Syllabi has had some tremendous growth, but it's not all sunshine and rainbows. So we hit 1 million ARR in 7 months, which is incredible for a startup. And then because we were pretty early, all things considered, in this like AI SaaS boom, we were super early to market. But then the market exploded. There's 1 million startups that came out. And so people are this new sort of terminology of AI surf it, like, what did we call it? What was it called? Like product surfing, basically, or AI tourism. That's what AI tourism. And so they're experimenting with a lot of different tools, and they're not committing to long subscriptions. And so the market got saturated. We were on like a 9-10 month churn, just slow descent. Luckily, we grew very quickly. At the beginning, we had an awesome cushion to carry us through this 10-month period as we refine the product, make it better, talk to our users every single day. And we did a strategic pivot about 7 months ago from focusing on AI avatars to focusing on faceless videos and faceless video automation, and switching our target demographic from business owners to content creators. And when we did that, now we've been skyrocketing back up. We're higher than we've ever been. We have more signups every single day than we've ever had before. Insanely fast right now, like 20 to 30% month over month growth. Truly blessed, but it's because we went through that 10-month period of suck and trying to figure it out and talking to our users and figuring out their real pain points and working through all of it. So yeah, we're about to approach 3,000 active subscribers in Syllabi. We just crossed 100,000 lifetime customers. That's existing signups and repeat customers. So we've been able to get a lot of our customers back. And so it's been a quite the journey as that first time startup founder. But I'm truly blessed, and I love it, and I love the community that we've built around Syllabi. That see what we're doing, and I'm building it in public, and we're really getting the community involved, and it's been amazing to see.
So yeah, and it is confusing out there for a lot of people, because it seems like every day somebody is coming out with some AI something that does something, and it's like starting to blur, and some of them are like, we do everything, and we do all this and we do all that, and this is the one thing you need, and this is the one product you need, and so it does get confusing. And so, you leaning into faceless videos, I think, is a great way to kind of differentiate yourself, as opposed to kind of getting lost in this noise of just AI software after AI software coming out. So talk about a faceless video. What is a faceless video?
Yeah, so as the name kind of implies, it's a video without your face on it. So with the idea that everybody should be creating videos online. It's the most adopted format of content on the internet and has been for many, many years at this point. Now, sometimes people don't want to be on camera. They don't like being on camera. They're literally not allowed to be on camera because they're in a regulated industry. They don't want to deal with their friends and family criticizing them, but they still want to either be creative and put content out there, or they want their business to grow and leverage this format that's getting so much just free organic distribution. Faceless video is the perfect solution for that. I thought it was avatars, but I don't think it's avatars anymore. I think there's a lot of long-term potential with that, creating like a deepfake version of yourself, if you will. But what a faceless video is, there's a couple different types. It could be B-roll. It could be just shots and clips of action and motion happening with audio, narration, and subtitles on screen and background music. That's typically the entire thing that's packaged. There's a newer style of faceless video, which is AI generated imagery and video, which is what we primarily do. And so when you generate or type in a script within Syllabi, what it does is it reads sections of that script and it will uniquely generate an AI image in any art style that you choose that shows what is being talked about in that script and in that narration. And then it pieces it together to tell a story. And what we've
Wow.
recently added in Syllabi is the animation and motion of those images. And so after the images are generated, you can turn them into scenes, moving scenes. So
Wow.
it creates an entire story that tells about business, about history, about hobbies, about interests, basically anything that you can think of to create content around. You can completely automate it now. Still add your opinions and expertise and your uniqueness. While you can 100% automate this stuff, I still am a content creator and I still put that out there that this is a tool to help you save a lot of time and energy. It is not really supposed to be a replacement. There will be people that fall on all sorts of areas on that spectrum.
Yeah.
That's one thing that really separates us is that I want to just empower you to create content however you want, whether you want to be in front of the camera or you don't want to be in front of the camera. Syllabi can help your entire A to Z journey there. But getting away from the question, that's kind of what a faceless video is. It's
Yeah.
a packaged video without your face needing to be the center of attention.
So when you created that, what problem were you solving?
What topics do I create? We have an idea discovery engine where we show you topics and questions that people search for online with data. I don't know what to talk about on camera. We've taken my best practices for what goes into a good video script, and we generate you a video script on any topic that fits that format. That's why so many of our videos perform exceptionally well and many go viral organically. The creation of the video. So in just a couple clicks with whatever presets that you want, and you can save the presets, it generates the video for you. So saving you a lot of time and energy. You don't need to know how to do video editing. You don't need to press that record. And you can schedule and publish it to all of your platforms. And so if you don't want it, you want to be omni-channel present on all of these platforms, you can just schedule it out ahead of time. And you can schedule up to 30 days of content in less than 5 clicks.
Wow.
Within Syllabi. That was kind of our North Star, which we recently achieved. That's without any customizations. You of course, should customize, but yeah, you can automate up to 5 videos a day for 30 days straight, long form or short form, up to 10 minutes long currently across TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Threads on any topic.
So who are you finding has been most successful with this? You mentioned, people that don't want to be on camera, for a variety of reasons. Who have you found that has been most successful with doing faceless videos?
Yeah, well, we have a lot of businesses that use us, real estate agents that come to mind, medical professionals. New content creators is who we've really spent a lot of time with and who we see having the most success, that's celebrating their growth online and having Syllabi be a part of that. People that have never created a video in their lives before, but want to create a passive income stream. That is who's having the most success online. I mean, we have a great Facebook group, Syllabi Content Creators. We just passed 20,000 members in that group. Every single day, there's people that just can't believe it. They started a brand new channel. They created a couple videos. Their first video got 15,000 views, something they'd never thought of would be possible. And we're helping people monetize and develop multiple income streams. So we've gotten a bunch of people ad revenue approved. All of these AI generated videos are able to be monetized on every social media platform. They fit the criteria of every terms of service. And we really encourage affiliate marketing. And so one of the ways that we're just growing as a community and helping people out, while they're already creating faceless videos like this, we encourage them all to sign up as an affiliate for Syllabi, which pays recurring revenue. And all they need to do is post in the description of that video, create a video like this yourself using Syllabi. Here's my affiliate link. And so we're doing a lot of like webinars and teaching on how to do that so that we all can win together. And so there's people that have never created a video, never made a single dollar online, that we're helping grow channels with thousands of subscribers, hundreds of thousands of views. They're starting to develop passive income streams online. It's been pretty amazing the last couple of months.
Yes. Wow. So you mentioned affiliate marketing. How else are people making money doing faceless videos?
Yeah, all of the things that I said earlier are still
Mhm.
applicable. So, ad revenue, affiliate marketing, selling your own products and services, lead generation, brand deals, selling courses, selling downloadable ebooks. One of my favorite recent ways is newsletter growth. So there's a great platform called Beehive.
Yeah.
Shout out to Beehive. They've really built the best email marketing platform for content creators with this marketplace that other newsletters pay other newsletters to help them grow. And so
Wow.
how it kind of works at a high level is newsletter A pays in their marketplace $1 per email that you're able to get to sign up and confirm for their email. If I apply for that and they approve me, which is very easy to get approval for all of these. When I send somebody to sign up for my newsletter, which is free, after they sign up for they enter their email, a pop-up will come up on that screen and say, would you also like to subscribe to this related newsletter? Newsletter A that's paying you $1 per email. If they say yes, which is free for the user to sign up and they confirm, you get paid.
Wow.
And so for me, it's about 20% conversion rate. And so 20% of the people that I get to sign up for my newsletter for free will also sign up for this other related newsletter for free. And I get paid to do that. And so because faceless videos are getting so much attention, just send them to subscribe to a newsletter where you talk about that topic. 20% on average, might be higher, might be lower. That's just my average. You'll get paid $1, $2. It fluctuates. I've seen as low as like 50 cents per email. I've seen as high as $4 per email. It
Wow.
depends on their campaign. Fantastic way to make revenue online from attention.
Wow.
Those are some of the ways.
Yeah, that's amazing. Wow. Yeah, I've actually gotten some emails from people that have signed up for Beehive, and I'm like, I hadn't seen that before, but it seems to be popping up every now and then. So we do have a lot of people that we live in a generation that has a lot of anxiety, and the idea
Mhm.
of a faceless video for somebody with an anxiety, they don't want to be on camera, they don't want to be peopling, it seems like a great way to be able to create content to generate attention, generate income. With the you had mentioned several different avenues for making money from these. With the content, you had mentioned that you could feed it information and it'll generate some of this content ideas. Do you have to have any kind of particular business to be creating these videos, or so what are you finding in that space?
No, there's a lot of people that have no business. They just want to create interest channels, ancient history, superhero channels. There's a old school gaming channel that's picking up a lot of momentum. One of our top organic platform users is the History of Ireland, which is pretty amazing. 43,000 followers, 225,000 likes. Her videos have gotten hundreds of thousands of views. 560,000, 369,000, 421,000, 32,000.
Wow.
Every single one of these videos is generated in Syllabi. Um, I know that Syllabi is paying her because we've done a case study on her, hundreds of dollars per month just from their ad revenue. The
Wow.
most viewed video that I've ever seen, because we do monthly challenges in Syllabi. There was a channel about all things Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and he did a face it's so random sometimes. One of his videos did like 1.3 million views on Facebook. This is a Facebook page where he mixes the content. It's not all Syllabi. Some of it is, some of it's him. He posts regular stuff. It's just a niche page about Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. But yeah, 1.3 or so million views organically,
Wow.
Facebook Reels, anything that you can think of. Children's books. There's a really cool therapist that I met at a conference I was speaking at last year that started creating a channel about like cartoons and stuff. And she's had a couple videos about the Grinch that have done. The one video just this week hit 200. It's like 260,000 views on YouTube about
Wow.
Grinch.
Wow.
So all kinds of stuff. I mean, I've created the cool thing about this platform is it's fun to use. So like all of our team use it and operate different faceless channels.
Yeah.
So I have like a cocktail recipe channel. So like how to make XYZ cocktail. I have an ancient Egypt channel, a general ancient history channel, an ancient Rome channel. We have superhero channel, just anything that you can think of.
And you don't have to be an expert in those areas, right?
No.
The Syllabi helps you create that faceless content.
Yeah, yeah. All you need
Wow.
is an idea, but we suggest ideas for you. We do webinars every week where we deep dive because this is very mission driven for me. Like video marketing has obviously changed my life, and I'm just on a mission to help change other people's lives with this stuff.
Yeah.
So like we do, whether you're a subscriber or not, it doesn't really matter to me. Our community, I mean, I bring in guest experts. We host webinars every single week on just how to do a lot of this stuff. So if you want to use Syllabi to save a bunch of time, cool. If you want to figure out and do all this stuff yourself, cool. Take what I've learned, just like I learned from, I've never given Rachel a dollar, but I've screamed her from the rooftops because I've just learned so much about her. It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm just giving amazing information out there. So no matter where you're at in your journey, no matter what age you're at, no matter how tech savvy you are, I really want you to have the opportunity to be successful online if you want to. It's not going to necessarily be easy from day one. You've got to put in some work and figure it out. But I don't want you to have an excuse that you can't make this work, because anyone can make this work.
Wow, that's amazing. And I think a lot of people that are listening to this, are going to be pretty excited about the very idea of signing up for this. And there'll be a link in the description on how to sign up for this. And I do encourage those that are looking for revenue streams, looking for ways to get out there, looking for ways to get some of their ideas, their thoughts, their interests, their passions. It sounds like the potential is limitless when it comes to the types of ideas, because you're going to find people that are interested in those ideas. Like you mentioned, Ireland and cocktails and superheroes, and,
Yeah.
all these different topics. And so is most of that content filtered to a certain platform? Is it just broadly broadcast like you had mentioned earlier?
Yeah, I've seen successes on every single platform. Lots of success on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. I'm not sure that I've seen a particular success on Threads from these Faces videos yet, but like it's there, so why not just share it if you've got it? But yeah, I mean, it's so simple to just select all of your platforms and schedule publish it out.
So what is exciting you about the future when it comes to AI and content creation?
Well, it's only going to get easier and easier. I think 2025 is going to be the year of agents. And so that's a really fascinating concept for me. Because right now, I think it's a natural evolution. We're working on some agentic stuff within Syllabi. Right now, it's still human input and execution, even though you can automate a lot of this. With agentic, it basically will do everything for you without you needing to take a lot of the steps if you want. And so it'll execute on your behalf a lot of these things. So that's really fascinating. The other thing that's really interesting is I see this getting more and more involved in hardware over the next year or two. It's really, really in the early days. Like I have a Samsung Galaxy Note 24, whatever the most recent one is, that has like Galaxy AI in it. It's very limited. Apple has Apple Intelligence now.
Right.
Google has Gemini in their Pixel phones. There are different, I think I lost them, but I had the Ray-Ban AI smart glasses. But all of these things are kind of just novelties so far. I think we're really going to see a lot more adoption of AI into useful hardware coming up, which is fascinating. Just a week or two ago, I saw that Elon announced that he's going to be porting Grok into Tesla vehicles. So you're going to have a AI model in your car, which is going to be the first use case of that. These Android robots are going to start infiltrating people's homes. These are going to be available reportedly as low as like $16,000, $17,000, which is, if it does half of what it says it's going to do, I think like that's an accessible price point for
Right.
the upper the upper half of America.
Right.
These tools are not going to be for everybody, of course, for the time being. They're going to start pricier and then they're going to come down in price. So that's just how new technology happens. Yeah, I mean, and as far as content creation, I mean, video, AI video is a natural trend. Sora just dropped last month, which is fantastic. It still has a lot of room for
Right, right.
improvement. There's so much there that they need to improve on, but it's really cool. There's a lot of these cool AI models. AI video is going to be huge, huge, huge this year online.
Yeah. It's pretty mind
That's
blowing.
kind of where my mind's going. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty mind blowing what AI video is already doing. I put in
Yes.
an image of a house from like a bird's eye view, and I told it to animate it like a drone fly through this photograph, and it did it. It generated this video, and I'm like, "Oh my, this is unbelievable!" And then I posted, I did another picture of just my dog, kind of looking over a stone wall at a beach, and I said, animate this into a happy dog, and I'm like, wow. I mean, it is pretty mind blowing in its early stages. It's just
Yeah,
it's
I saw
crazy.
it sure is. I mean, I just saw a crazy use case. I don't really know how I feel about it, but yesterday somebody tagged me in this. Someone made a completely AI generated video of firefighters saving animals in a fire environment, and they added sound effects and labeled it as a firefighter saving animals in the California wildfires right now. And
Wow.
that people were running to the comments and saying like, this is so heartbreaking. Look at these animals. It's AI. They were 100% AI generated. You just have to, like, really look at it, and you notice
Yeah.
those little things, like, things overlapping. But at a surface level, that video deceived a lot of people.
Yeah.
Really interesting use case there. This stuff's very good. It's already at a point where it's deceiving humans.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we are getting to a point where trust, in what we see, you believe it with my own eyes, I'll believe it when I see it, is no longer a measure of facts and fact checking and being able to decide whether something is actually real because it is so deceiving. I mean, you used to have, six fingered mid journey images and people like, yeah, it's fake. But, it's gotten to
Yep.
the point where people are doing these photo shoots with AI that are just unbelievable. I mean, you don't need a photographer. You don't need somebody to go out and shoot photos of you. You could get very realistic images of yourself. So,
Yeah.
with the content creation that you're doing, for the people that miss the human element, what do you advise to them? How do you help? What do you tell them to keep that human element and keep some stuff real so people don't get tired of it quick?
Yeah, I mean, do what you feel comfortable with. Content creation for me and a lot of creators is a creative outlet. And so, even though I'm able to do a lot with AI, and as the days go on, we'll be able to do more and more with I still enjoy creating content. I write a lot of my posts, the vast majority of my posts. I still manually create videos myself, and I manually upload them across all these platforms because I enjoy doing it. I love doing it.
Yeah.
I interact. Nobody has access to any of my social media platforms, so and I respond to comments and messages constantly. It's 100% me. It's not automated. It's not a team member. It's not a VA. I love doing that because I'm borderline addicted to it. Uh, but that's a socially acceptable form of addiction, I guess. But uh, however your comfort level is, find those pocket communities online too. There's great school groups. This is a platform that's come up, and Circle is another like alternative community platform. There's Facebook groups, there's Discord communities, there's offline communities. I mean, go to conferences, go to networking events, go to mastermind groups, connect with people in real life. I think that's ultimately like where AI is going, is it's this whole online world is going to largely be automated. It kind of already is. And so it's just going to save us a lot of time to do more in-person human stuff. It's going to give us back time to do more experiential things, go to concerts, spend time with our loved ones, do activities, things like that, chase our physical hobbies of woodworking or playing guitar or rock climbing or martial arts, think all of that.
Yeah, I love what you said about still you do a lot of posting yourself. I think, AI is incredible and there's a lot of people that use it incredibly well, but I think, keeping it as an augmentation of what you're doing and not a total replacement is a safe thing, because humans love humans. Humans love human activity. They like to have real engagement. And there are some people that have gone all in on AI to where it writes everything. It'll write all their emails, it'll write all their DMs, it'll write all their posts, it'll write every single thing. And people like, well, am I talking to you? Am I talking to an AI? And I want some level of realness in what I'm seeing as well. And so I think that's going to be the challenge for the future is balancing between how much you're plugging AI into your social thing. Because if it's, if it's social media, it's you being social as well as you producing this content, and finding a way to balance that where people still feel that they have access to a real you. And I think finding that balance, I think, is going to be a challenge in the future. And like you said, you still do it all yourself. You still have all the access and you take care of it yourself. And I think that's a future that we all need to kind of push for, is what I can do and what I should do are two very different things. And keeping that realness is pretty important. As we wrap this up, what's a head smack moment or a head smack that you've had, or a question that I haven't asked that you'd like to talk about?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think you asked a lot of great questions, to be honest.
So tell me about the AI
talking about-
conference that's coming up.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. That's a good one. So it's called AI Marketing World. So the website is aimarketingworld.co. If anyone's interested, it's going to be October 9th through 11th, 2025 in Dallas, Texas. Technically Frisco, Texas, just slightly north of Dallas. A really cool story with this conference. This conference was originally Video Marketing World, which has been around for several years. I first attended that conference about 5 years ago as a person in the back of the room that was just observing and learning from great people and just having fun and networking and being around my peers. 2 years later, I had started getting success no, I guess 6 years ago. Yeah, 6 years ago that I first went to that conference. 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I was starting to grow on TikTok, and I cold messaged the owner of that conference, Scott Simpson, and said, "Hey, I've been to the conference before. I notice you don't have anyone that's speaking on TikTok. Would you be interested in having a TikTok speaker? I've learned a lot from this conference. I would love the opportunity." He invited me on his podcast. We had a great conversation. Of course, knocked it out of the park. You gotta deliver. And he invited me to be a panel moderator on the first TikTok for Business panel at Video Marketing World. And of course, you have to deliver. So that was very well received. I did a bunch of research and did a phenomenal job, I think. They invited me back the following year to be a standalone keynote speaker to talk about TikTok for Business. Fast forward now, that was 2 years ago. Now I'm business partner on that conference with Scott Simpson and his wife, Camber. And we pivoted it from video marketing to AI marketing to ride this hype cycle. I am a testament of that conference. I've just come up within that conference and won awards at that conference and had a lot of success. And so I want to continue that and share everything that I've learned to help other people at that conference as well. So we've already have our speaker lineup secured. We've got some of the best AI marketing experts in the world, Jonathan Mass. We've got Onyx Singal, Molly Mahoney. So many amazing
The
speakers
incredible
on the lineup. The lineup's great. And I really want it to be an immersive experience as well. It's not just going to be people on stage talking at you for 3 days. We're going to have AI hardware tech demos, and there's going to be all kinds of cool sponsor booths and amazing things. It's going to be amazing. Tickets are on sale. They're early bird discounted right now. If anyone is interested, that's aimarketingworld.co. I'd love to see you there. I'd love to hang out with you and just talk shop.
Awesome, man. Well, I've seen the lineup. The lineup is incredible. And if you have any interest at all in anything AI, I do suggest you check that out. I'll have the links in the show notes. Austin, this has been amazing, man. I really enjoyed this conversation.
Absolutely.
Very informative. Excited about Syllabi. Excited about what you're doing in that space. AI is just fascinating. You can't ignore it. It is the future. And so I think you really need to consider it when it comes to what you're doing as a job. And then if you don't like your face on camera, look at a Syllabi as a way to do faceless videos that'll get you out there as well. Austin, thank you so much, man. And this has been amazing.
Thank you for the opportunity. It was a great conversation. I love any excuse to just talk about this stuff. So I hope this was helpful for the audience. And thank you so much, Paul.
It was awesome. Thank you. Thank you for joining us on the Headsmack Podcast. We've shared some candid stories and life-changing ideas. And now it's your time to act. First, take bold action on just one idea and see how your life can radically change. Secondly, whatever platform you're listening to this on, please rate it, share it, and leave a comment. Let us know where this episode impacted you. I appreciate you giving me your time, and don't forget to join us for our next Misfit conversation.